Hey, what's up, guys? Chris here from Meadows Church. Thanks for taking time to listen in. This is a Word for Wednesday. And so, yes, I got my Carolina Panthers hoodie on today. This is NFL Draft Week. Definitely excited to see who we're going to select. Big prayers for all the teams out there. Whoever you pull for, maybe you get a great player. I know our team needs all the help we can get. So just want to throw that out there. Don't hold it against me that I'm staying faithful to my Carolina Panthers. But hey, as we continue on in our Word for Wednesday series, I want to talk about something that's important to me personally, and I believe very impactful for the church and for Christians nowadays here in our society. And that's this idea of joy, joyfulness. You see, as a Christian, we're supposed to be known in a lot of ways for our joy, for how we represent Jesus Christ to this world. That's what Christian means. We're representatives. We represent Jesus to a lost and dying and broken and dark world. And so joy is a very important part of that. If you look at the fruits of the Spirit, love, joy is the second one listed. There's many there listed of what it means to have God's Spirit on you and what that means, how it plays out in your life. But joy is listed there as a very important part. We walk and represent Jesus with joy. And then Paul goes on to say, even when you face trials and tribulations, it says, consider it all joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face these trials, when you face this persecution. Joy is how we're going to represent Jesus to this world. And so I want to make sure I differentiate between joy and happiness. You see, happiness is circumstantial, and you might be happy because your team won a game, or because it's Friday, and on Fridays you get to have cookies for dessert. That's me personally. There's a lot of things that might make you happy. Joy is something altogether different. It's where we're rooted. It's that we look at this life, this place that we live in here in America or wherever you might live, and there's a lot of negative things going on. There's a lot of darkness and heaviness and bad things you might not like, might not agree with. Maybe the world's not running the way that you think it should. But see, all those things, we're rooted in something that's different than those things. As a Christian, we're rooted in Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ has come to save and restore the world, and he's invited us as the church, as Christians, to join with him on that mission, to share this good news. The gospel is good news, and we should be walking around rooted in joy, sharing this great news with those around us. So I'm not talking about happiness. It's not that. It's joyfulness. And a lot of times people mistake Christians for being fake, and we're always just smiling and pretending like everything's great. That's not what I'm talking about. You see, I think a far worse issue right now currently with Christians is that we're more known for our negativity, actually. We're more known for our grumpiness. So many Christians are walking around today grumpy. They don't like how politics is going. They don't like the current climate of how things are going in this country. They don't like all those things that surround them. They have so many things to be negative about. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you're always looking online, checking social media, and there's always something that's like, man, I can't believe that. How could someone do that or say that? Or how is this the case? Or I can't believe, and we're outraged. And I don't want to pretend as though we don't live in a broken world, to where there's things that are problems and things that we disagree with, and I certainly understand, and man, I can sympathize. But as a Christian, am I known for bringing joy into the room, or am I known for walking into the room and being just as discouraged as everyone else? Do I complain about everything? Am I negative about everything? Am I just grumpy as a person? And man, I've seen it so many times, especially recently, where Christians who claim to follow Jesus always seem to have something to complain about. We're known for our grumbling and complaining instead of representing joyfulness to this world. You see, Jesus himself in John chapter 17 was praying to the Father. This is right before he was crucified, very close to the time when he was going to be crucified. And he was praying for a lot of things, and one of the things specifically he said is that my joy would be made complete in my people, that they would receive my joyfulness, and that in their joy they would be unified as a church. He wants to give us his joy. Jesus wants us to have abundant life, as it says in John chapter 10. You see, and so we don't walk around with this fake happiness and always have to be smiling. And no, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that we have the best news ever. Following Jesus is the greatest thing ever. And we should be able to carry that into the places that we go. You see, all the negative things that happen around us, the places that we live, our workplaces, our family life, whatever that might be, all those places can have terrible, negative, unfortunate things that are going on. Things that you might disagree with big time. So we can either allow those things to affect us and cause us to be now negative and cynical and critical and dark. That's how the outside influences us. But in fact, Jesus always changed the script around and said, I'm going to influence and impact what's around me. See, he wasn't made unclean by people that were classified as unclean in Scripture when they touched him. Jesus said, no, I'm going to touch you and make you clean. As Christians, we represent and walk the same way that Jesus did, and we want to help bring light and joy and happiness. Man, we want to provide that and bring that into the places that are around us. So if the world around you is negative, if the world around you is not the way that you think it should be, you don't just mope about it. You don't just complain about it. You don't just share articles on Facebook about how everything's the worst. No, that's not how a Christian's supposed to be known. We're supposed to be known for our love for one another, and we do that by sharing joy with all that Christ has done in our life. We bring the light into the dark situations. We bring the light into the heaviness. I don't want to be naive and pretend that you're not going through real things in your life. Difficulty in relationship with your spouse. Maybe your kids have gotten off track and you don't know how to correct or fix the situation. Maybe work for you is just terrible. You can't stand your boss. You can't stand what you're doing. It's hectic and chaotic. Man, I don't know what that might be for you. I don't know what the negative things that might be weighing on you are. But I do know that as a follower of Jesus, he tells us to take those things, take those burdens, and to give them to him. To lay our burdens, our heaviness on Jesus. He wants to carry it for us. He wants to carry it for us. We don't have to carry it ourselves. Paul even tells us in the New Testament that we're not supposed to be anxious about things. Instead of being anxious about the heaviness, about the burdens, about life, instead of those things weighing on us, on our shoulders, it says instead, take those to the Lord in prayer. Don't be anxious, but pray. And as a Christian, it's not just that we pray, we certainly do that and we give things to the Lord, but we are now called to be the church where we come alongside one another to help people carry those very things, which is why I think church is much more effective when it's and done through small groups and relationships. That's an important thing for us here at Meadows Church, because we want to help come alongside people and help carry some of those burdens that people have been left to carry themselves. And then tell them the good news that, hey, you don't have to carry it yourself. You can share that and give that to Jesus. He wants to carry it for you. And he wants to use his people, his church, to help carry it with you. You see, life has all sorts of things that it's going to throw at us. Life has all sorts of curveballs. We don't know what to expect. We don't know what's going to come next. And as a Christian, we can either walk around always with our head hung down. Maybe you're a Christian, you walk into the workplace, and every meeting you walk into, you just bring the mood down. You're critical. You have something to share that's just really exposing or sharing fear. Hey, here's the new thing we need to be afraid about, or the new thing we need to worry about. Man, I see so many Christians, and that seems to be what they're more known for. As a Christian, we get to walk into the room and bring the light it up. Bring the joy and a smile and the love of Jesus as it's changed our life, and how we get to bring that into these dark situations. So today, I want you to consider not being fake, not pretending like everything's good when it's not, but understanding that there are people, the church, that want to help carry those things with you. They want to point you to Jesus, who ultimately carries them for you, and for you to be able to be a person of joy that walks into the place, that walks into your neighborhood and your place of work, all the places God has for you in your life, and you bring the joy. Man, following Jesus is such an encouragement, such an amazing thing that we get to do, and we get to share that good news with other people. It is a joy to follow Jesus. I pray we will be known for our joy and not for our criticalness, our negative spirit, not for always being grumpy. Let's get these grumpy Christians out of here, and let's start caring and loving and being a joyful presence as we represent Jesus to this world. Hey, I pray you have a wonderful week. If you have questions about anything I've said today, If you want to chat about some of maybe the things that you're worried about or you're struggling through, I would love to talk with you about it. And I would love to, in fact, invite you to one of our 4 small groups we have in town to help talk with other people about it. Again, life is real. Life is tough. I'm not making light of that. But as a follower of Jesus, we get to be the ones to share his love with joy to those around us. So, hey, be joyful today. Share love and kindness today. And in doing so, share Jesus today. I hope to talk to you soon. Have a wonderful week. I pray that it's full of joy. God bless you.